Welcome back to the channel, guys. Well, here's the new addition to the family. This is Bonnie, our new little trainee quality control expert. Say hello to everybody. Hello. So she's our new addition. You're going to see her in a lot of the videos in the background, making sure Daddy's work is up to scratch. So there you go. What do you think? Good idea? You're a bit tired, honey. All right, well, that's a surprise. Let's get on with the show and I'll show you what we're doing today. Okay, let's get these trailing arms on. Just put a little bit of grease on these areas that are going to go in first off, but obviously a lot more will be applied through the nipples. Okay, let's just get these nipped up. The bottom ones are easy, because it's just a matter of tightening these guys up. Okay, so now that we've got the trailing arms on, we've got them all screwed in, the next thing we're going to do is measure the offset from top to bottom to work out what our shims are going to be. And obviously we have to use basically 10, they give you 10 shims per actual pin. So the way we do that is grab two rulers or a straight edge, whatever you got, and the idea is you're going to place that on there and make sure it's dead square, and then measure this little gap in here. And I have actually done this already, so I'm going to double check it. That's right on 7, so we've got a 7mm gap here. And then we'll go to our chart, which I have on my phone, and that'll tell us exactly what the shim amount per side needs to be. So we'll just double check that. So you can see here, that's your little diagram I've got, and it tells you the little graph in the corner there of how many shims. So if we go to upper and lower offset, we're looking at 7mm, and that's actually going to be quite easy. It's 5 per side on both top and bottom, so that's actually very easy to do. So 5 on the top, 5 on the bottom. So what we'll do is we'll just take off 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's grab the spindle. Okay, so to get the spindle on, you can see in the picture here, we've got to make sure we have the shims, the O-ring, and the little backing plate. Now the backing plate that they give us is, again, another piece of shonky wonky crap, which we're not going to use. Here's the original one, which is just stamped a lot better. It's got a nice little proper recessed section there, you can see. So we're going to use him instead. So here we go. So we're going to grab the spindle, and this is where it gets a bit juggly wuggly, because we've got to put spindle, 5 shims, make sure that goes home all the way, and then on the inside we've got to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like so. Make sure they go home. And then we have to put our little O-ring. Just put a little bit of grease on that to make sure that we don't wreck it putting it on. Like so. A bit of a picture there. And then we're going to put our little retainer, and the retainer clip does go that way or that way. Well, if it goes that way, yeah, it must go that way because of the hole. Alright, so we've just put the jack underneath the bottom A-arm, jacked it up, obviously clamped this all together here, otherwise the pan just is going to lift in the air. And we should be good to go. Let's just have a bit of a looky here. We want to try to get these guys orientated in the right spot, but we're home. Good to go. All right. Okay, so now that we have the spindles attached, we're going to get the discs on, then we can work on the rear end and get this on the ground. So here's the kit over here. I'll just show you. This is the boxes that we got. AC Industries, and these are the front rotors. Let's have a look at those. Nice big heavy beasts. Yeah, not bad size. Probably could be a bit bigger, but we're not racing this thing. So what we do need to do is put the racers in for the bearings. So we're going to do that straight off the bat now. So we'll get the appropriate bearings and get the racers sorted. So that's obviously how they come in the packet. Here's your race, here's your bearing. So we'll pop the bearing back in. Now obviously that one is going to go right to the sir like that, but we'll just get the other one ready to do the two at the same time. Okay, so I've got this little tool here, which is a kit that I bought, which has all different diameter, size for pushing in bearings and all sorts of weird stuff, but that'll work perfect. As you can see here, slots in as good as you'll get. So what we're going to do is done deal. All right, move him to the side. Let's grab the other one, same deal. Race, pop it in, just get it reasonably level. Pop the tool on top and give it a tappy. Just tap it in. Righto, now flip them over. Now we need to go and find the appropriate size in the kit for that one. So let's go and do that. Okay, so I've got these two. Let's see what's going to be close. I think that's the winner. And that one is the 39.5 mil. You know when you've reached the bottom because the note changes. It goes to a real hard, like a different sound. And you can see there that that's completely flush. The race has gone home. Make sure it does go all the way home, otherwise you'll have issues. Okay, let's get rid of you. On to number 2. Double check. Good to go. Okay, so back at the spindle, we're just going to test fit the bearing, make sure it does slide on properly. We're not got burrs and tomfoolery and whatever. So let's just see how this goes. So far, not good. You just got to make sure you get them square and don't force them on either. Here we go. So that actually fits. Not bad. Okay, let's try. Now remember, this is just a dry fit. I just want to get this chassis back on the wheel, so I'm not putting the rear, that's the rear seal that goes on the back of the hub. I'm not putting that on yet, and I'm not greasing them up. I'm just leaving them as they are, and we're going to pull these back off again later. So, front rotor on, and front bearing like so. Lock washer, and I've got one of these. Okay, yeah, not sure about those suckers. All right, let's jump on the other side. Okay, done. Next thing, yeah, I suppose we've got to put some wheels on it and start on the rear gearbox. Let's keep going. Okay, let's whack the wheels on. Onto the rear end. All right, just shoehorning in the rear. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Okay guys, we're going to leave the chassis there for a minute. Let's get on to painting the seat frames. So I've got them all set up here. We've got our Krylon River Rock, and this is pretty much the colour that they would have been painted in, pretty close to it. All right, let's get all these frames sprayed up. I've got a little hook hanging up there, and we'll just get them all painted. Okay, so we've got Lassie in the house, and she's going to start spraying this thing. All right, so that one there's just one coat. We'll let that flash off and give it another one. And then Lassie's just continuing over here, doing all these ones. Okay guys, so there we go. These things are all pretty much dry. We did the seat springs as well, just to protect those from rusting. And yeah, everything's looking good. Got that one down there. So we'll assemble these once they're completely dry, probably tomorrow. And they can get ready to get sent off to the upholsterer. Now I've got to get the back seat out and do the same treatment to that one, and then we can get them sent off. So one more job ticked off. Thanks Lassie, we'll see you in the next one, and let's continue. Okay guys, so one of the next things we've got to do before we start to do rust repairs, fabrication, all that jazz, is I want to address these heater channels. Basically what we want to do is these bolts, which are going to obviously bolt the body to the pan, I want to make sure that they're not going to fail and pop out, because they are just spot welded. You can see here I've gone and sandblasted just on each nut, and I'm going to grab the TIG welder and I'm going to just right on that little lip there, just go basically around it and weld it to it, so that there's no chance in hell they're going to pop out. Because I have seen some other videos. Mike did a good one a few years ago, and he sort of addressed that issue with the nut, the encapsulated nut falling through. And you really don't want that to happen. I mean, these are obviously the premium grade heater channels, and they do cost an arm and the leg, especially for us down here in Australia. I think I paid, oh geez, don't quote me, they might have been 1,200 bucks each or something stupid like that. Anyway, I'm not going to take any chances, so we're going to get the TIG, and I'm just going to go around and fuse those two together. So let's make it happen. Okay guys, so you can see what I've done. Just added a very, very small little weld just around each one of them. You can see there, and that'll just stop those things from working their way out or snapping off. So that one's done. We'll go and grab the other one, give that a crack too. Now, probably some of these threads at the very, very first thread might be damaged, so you never know. I mean, the weld could have slightly got in there. So I'm just going to grab a tap quickly, and we'll just go through all of them and double check, make sure they're all happy, and then we can call them good and move on. So let's just get a tap on them. Okay, tap, put the clutch so you don't snap the tap, and then we can just first test just with a bolt, make sure if they go in, well, we're good. That's perfect. Perfect. All right, done deal. Don't need to do anything more. So let's put these aside and let's continue. So yeah, pretty much now we've just got to get some stuff organized, moved around, and We did get a special little tool which is going to come in very handy. My mate Bruce gave us this. This is a template for the hinges. So because I've got issues here with the bottom hinge being ripped off the door, as you can see there, well, this is going to give me our actual points of reference, so I know where to weld back that patch panel at the bottom there. So I'm sort of thinking maybe I'll fix the doors first before I start tackling. I mean, you could probably go either way. I could probably tackle this first and then do the doors. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to be the best method here, because, you know, obviously I can use that to do the same deal, bolt that into there like that. That'll tell me where these have to go. So then I suppose I could actually repair that whole side before I do the doors. I don't know. Either way, both of them have to be repaired. So what order? That is a good point. But no, I'm thinking maybe we do body first, then do the doors. All right, we'll work it out. Let's continue. Okay, so one of the first things we're going to do, we've just rearranged a few things around here. I'll put the 58 in the corner there. We're going to start working on the lower hinge area. So this section here, we're going to get those repaired on both sides so that we can then get the doors hung so that, you know, they're in the ballpark, and then we can actually tackle the heater tubes. I'm not sure if that's the right, you know, recipe going forward, but I figured we've got that one there. It's all got to come off. Both sides are just completely destroyed. So what we got to do, unfortunately, when you buy these Gerson lower sections, these parts here, they've just got really bad threads in them. So I actually got an extra set made up, and that was part of the deal when I bought these. So we've got to just cut the strap off, weld these in, and then throw those away, because they just haven't done them properly. And if you look really carefully at the threads in there, they haven't used a proper thread tool, and they're just going to pull straight out. So let's get this sorted now, and then we can start to look at getting these things set where they have to go on the body. So lift him up, take that out. And we'll just TIG those back in again. Alright, so you can see there, it's tacked it in and we're good to go. Let's go over to the body now. So what we need to do before I actually start this process of cutting all this out and adding that to there, I've got to move this because it's actually in the way of the door being able to shut. So we're going to have to cut this out, but before obviously I cut it out, I've got to weld a new one in. So I'm going to get another bar, weld it from here straight all the way through and pick up the bar at the back there, and then that'll give me enough room for the door to be able to shut. That was just a bit of a silly idea, putting the bracing where I put it there, but wasn't thinking ahead, was I? Anyway, let's go and get some steel and weld in some extra panels in there, and then we can continue. Okay, so there we go. That's a little bit better. I've got the bars, just welded them in on the inside. So now we've got room to actually shut the doors when we get that part done. All right, guys, well, I'll call it quits on this one. I'm going to go and head for a surf. She's gone offshore. I'll see you in the next video. The new trainee quality control expert is also going to say goodbye. There she is down there in her little spot. Hey, Bonnie. How you going there, Bonnie? Are you a good girl? You want to say goodbye to everybody? Yes? You want to go say goodbye to everybody? Good girl. All right, catch you later, guys. You.